saying that it won't be recorded to a string or, but yeah, I mean it's been showing up, so let's just get started. Yeah.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Yakim out there teaching and preaching this truth. Salakia, teaching and preaching this truth with all truth and sincerity. This is Men of Valor Las Vegas Camp. Until then, all right, let's just go ahead and get into it. All right, go ahead and pull that Psalms 19 and 1.
This book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 1. The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork.
All right, so the firmament shows his handiwork, and that handiwork, all right, of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to be this famine of the word. All right, the famine of the word is coming. All right, and Salakia, the famine of the word is coming, and when Yahweh Bashem Yahushai takes that word from these platforms, as you see in this, what is it? The I don't know what he's called, his position in Babylon. All right, but he's that Slacky, I can't he put the decree out basically like these platforms and these medias to yeah, so it's a platform in these media platforms, all right, to monitor speech, all right, for the misinformation that they say that is going out about Maxine Waters, all right, amongst other things, all right. We know it's like a musician, not a musician, but a magician, all right, that sleight of hand, all right. So that's he puts these laws into place, and then he's slowly slipping away the freedoms, all right, the freedoms that you so-called have here in Babylon, all right.
Verse 2, day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor knowledge nor language where their voice is not heard.
God, Yahweh Shem Yahushai has made it very, very clear, all right, whether you speak Chinese, Japanese, Cambodian, Hindu, English, sign language, French, all right, Tibet, it does not matter what language you speak. This language, this song has gone out through the whole universe, all right. There's not anywhere that this word is not known of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right.
Their line has gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun.
All right, and what is that line? That line right there is the internet. All right, what's one thing that goes across the whole entire planet? All right, these satellites go all around the planet. All right, connecting with this 5G technology and so on and so forth. All right, so we continue on. They continue all that. All right, we got Jake in the back bugging out for something. All right,
That's the unicorn.
God, that's that unicorn. Yeah, you can continue a little bit further.
Verse 5 says, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber and rejoiceth.
No, stop it. Drop that. Stop it.
God.
Stop it. You want to get 37 and 7, 37 and 32.
This book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 32, it says, the wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him.
God, the wicked watcheth the righteous, all right? Because the wicked watches every single day, all right? Watches how you move, watches the speech that you talk about, all right? Because even though that they don't understand the song necessarily, they still know the song, All right, they know what to look for. All right, they have the signs to look for the falling of their queendom. All right, it's their rulership. All right, they call it their kingdom, but it's really a queendom. All right, because America is a whore. Come.
Verse 33 says, "The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it."
So Yahweh Shem Yahushua says, wait on him. All right, wait on him, because Yahweh Shem Yahushua is doing wondrous works with this unicorn. All right, from the apostle Tahar on down. All right, have been doing wondrous works through this unicorn go across the whole earth. All right, where brothers and sisters are waking up.
Keep his way, and keep it with faith, because like the apostles teach, about when Y2K happened. A lot of brothers, was expecting it to be the end.
God.
But it wasn't. And so what happened to them? They bugged out. They lost faith because they didn't didn't have faith.
God. They weren't fully rooted. All right.
So that was like a test.
God. They were never fully rooted in this thing. All right.
Pertaining to Habakkuk 2, and I believe chapter 2, it says that it will not tarry, which means it will happen. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 32, 37, verse 34. It says, "Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it." So we're gonna see the destruction come and destroy Esau, man.
God.
We're gonna be witnesses to that.
God. Albert Rogers, how we make it to the end.
We're witnessing them fall upon their own tongues. We're witnessing them putting each other in the hot seat. Starting with with the doctor that's in play. And being investigated. More now. Now more countries are inquiring on the how this thing originated. How we got into this this state that this worldwide pandemic is in.
Hey, and that's Yahweh Shem Yahushua is making that clear each and every day. All right.
So they got to give up their scapegoats. That's what the Most High is forcing them to do.
God, I actually got Habakkuk 2 and 1. And Habakkuk, the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see that he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. All right. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua has us watching. All right, has us watching and making sure that we understand the times that we're in, so we can answer for that day of judgment. All right, because nobody, whether man, woman, or child, whether you are of a heathen nation or whether you are of our nation, is going to pass from the judgment seat. All right, everybody has to answer. Everybody. All right, whether you're a chosen seed or not. Come, you gonna get it? Verse 2, and it reads, "And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that that he may run that readeth it." All right, so he may run that readeth it. It is You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans, all the way down to Mexicans. All right? And for you other nations, for you to run and understand the judgment that's coming to you.
The elect waking up and running to the street corners and putting in the work.
God.
You know, the Esau running to his secret hiding places and devising more plans to cut us off, you know, to stop us, to try to prolong, you know, the inevitable.
God.
You know, I had a quick precept on the judgment that's coming. You know, this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 14, verse 35. It says, "For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again, and then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared."
Hey, for after death, and the works of the godly should be declared.
But this time around, you know, some of us will not die.
God,
you know,
should there be roughly paraphrasing? There should be some of us that surely should not die.
Right. Going into that, you know, coming the reincarnation of the people now, we're seeing exactly who they are. You know, we're seeing exactly who they were back then. You know, the prophets coming back as the prophets, and the wicked coming back as the wicked, and they even more wicked now. You know, because it's those times.
You know, matter of fact, let me finish this up. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 3. "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will because it will surely come. It will not tarry." All right? So it will not tarry. This will happen. America will be destroyed by thermonuclear fire. You heathen nations will go into captivity. All right? The elect will be delivered. All of Israel will be reborn. All right? But 2/3 of our own people will have to know death by pain, because they didn't hearken unto the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, who you guys ignorantly call God or Jesus Christ or Jehovah. God.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 11. And it reads, "So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it."
God. So is it Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said his word is not going to return to him void. It's going to prosper. What is to prosper? To advance. What is to advance? Layman's terms, to level up, to get higher, to have more understanding. Level up.
These prophecies are going to be manifested.
Con.
You know, and we're going to see it. Like it said back in 37 and Psalms 37 and 34, 35, you know, which we just read. Let's see right there.
No, I mean, what's your phone?
No, that's it.
No, I'm saying the Psalms. I was having you read it again. You had a little bit more on that?
No, that was it.
Okay. All right. This is book of Romans. It's going to be chapter 10 and verse 14, and it reads, "How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher?" All right, I'm going to read that again. This is the book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 14. "How then shall they call on him whom they have not believed?" All right, so how can you call on somebody that you don't believe in if you don't know him? All right, that's why Yahweh Bashem Yahushai set up this unicorn. He set up this unicorn so you could hear his name. All right. So you could hear the prophecies. All right. So you can hear this new song that's being sung. All right. By the prophets from Apostle Tahar on down. And every man who's teaching in the same doctrine, not like doctrine, the same doctrine. Continue on. And how shall they believe in him whom they have not heard? So you're hearing brothers out on the highways and byways giving their testimony. You're hearing brothers, even if they're not on the highways and byways, but they heard the song, giving their testimony and being an evangelist. All right, calling upon the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, sisters giving their testimonies to other sisters. All right, or their husbands, or their children. All right, to understand the song that is sung. Continuing on, and how shall they hear without a preacher? All right, so Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has set up the tabernacle. All right, he has set up the men, all right, of you so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, Guatemalans to Panama, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, North American Indians, Seminole Indians, the Argentinian to Chile, Colombian to Uruguay, and Mexicans. All right, with your tribe name would be Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. All right, that's who you are. All right, you belong to the Most High.
This is your true nationality.
God. And this would be the book of Romans, chapter 15, or Salakia, chapter 10, and verse 15. And it reads, and how shall they preach except they be sent? All right, so that goes right into the scriptures are not any Salakia, not upon any private interpretation. All right. You got it? God. Salakia.
Book of 2 Peter, chapter 1, verse 20, it says, knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation.
Right. No prophecy of the scripture is upon any private interpretation. All right. This is not something that we got up one day and was like, oh, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. Why? Because I said so. You know?
Using the stars to know when the so-called black man is going to get power.
God.
You know, did that come to be manifested? No.
We're not relying on this technology that taking it back to the great crash, Y2K. All right, from man's own wisdom.
In verse 21, it says, "For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of the Most High spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost of Aram Kudash."
God. So Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai put the Spirit on men. All right, on men of Israel.
Like in Genesis, how he breathed into the nostrils, he put the spirit into man to come alive. Like he's doing again in pertaining to Ezekiel 37. To wake up the dry bones. Which are the walking dead. The people living in wickedness and meaningless vanity
God.
And stuff.
And that's that breath of life. When we receive the breath in Genesis, that's that breath of life that we receive from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. To understand the law, statutes, and commandments, this truth, to come back to who we are, so we're no longer the dry bones in the valley. All right. Continuing on verse 15. And I'm gonna start again from the beginning. And who shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace. All right. So what we're out here preaching is really the gospel of peace. Whether y'all want to believe it or not. All right. Whether these heathen nations want to believe it or not. Even though that they will be in subject under the Israelites, they will still, at the end, after the captivity, they will rejoice. Lucky. And bring glad tidings unto good things. All right, because this is a good thing. This is a good thing that Yahweh is sending his son, Yahweh Shai, back. All right. It's good for all you nations. All right. Even Esau, Edom. All right. Because they'll get corrected. They'll understand their correction. All right. And after they've been corrected, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to do away with them. Verse 16. And it reads, it's like it, Romans chapter 10 and verse 16. It reads, but they have not, for they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Esau saith, Lord, who hath believed or report? Who have believed or report? And I said Esau, Isaiah. So let me read that again. This is the book of Romans chapter 10, verse 16. But they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah saith, Lord, who hath believed our report? All right. And who has believed the report? All right. The 1/3. The 1/3, starting with the 144,000 elect men, all right, of Israel. The 1/3, the multitude of the 1/3 believe on this word and have heard the report of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Verse 17. So when faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh. All right. By hearing by the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's how faith came. All right, to understand this word, to give it your all, to change your ways. All right, to stop being a heathen. All right, stop doing all these abominable acts. Being celebrating these holidays and being a part of this system and this custom, voting and fornication, idolatry and adultery.
The root of a lot of these holidays are paganistic.
God.
You know, and they go back to wickedness, pretty much. You know? I got a quick research. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 8. It says, but thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. Thou, whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief man thereof, and said unto thee, thou art my servant, I have chosen thee, and I am not cast thee away. It says, that's it.
So Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, all right, shows Israel. Our forefathers are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, being surnamed, Jacob being surnamed Israel. All right.
And the chief man, you know, which is the elect, you know, to bring out this word.
Come. Let me finish on verse 18. This is book of Romans chapter 10 and verse 18. And it reads, but I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world. How? How did this word move throughout the whole planet? The unicorn. All right? The internet. Mainly the platform of YouTube. All right, but this word has moved forward throughout the whole, all right, planet. I'm gonna actually read till verse. Let me just continue on to verse 19. Verse 19, and it reads, "But I say, did not Israel know? First Moses said, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people, and by the false nations I will anger you." All right, and I read that simply because the anger of these nations, understanding that these other nations are above you right now. All right, you have the opportunity. All right, you have the opportunity to hearken unto the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, because the famine of the word is coming.
The modern day thought is to, he's above me right now, so I got to start doing as he do so I could get like him. That's the cardinal sense of things.
God.
When they're, doing sacrifices and praying to these other worthless idols and stuff like that, you take it as that's what you go and copy them.
God.
Because y'all don't see the benefits on this side being truthful to your nation. That's the way Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has it set up.
Hey, matter of fact, this is Romans chapter 9 and verse 11. For the scriptures saith, whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. All right?
So there's no shame in this truth, Even though y'all may not see it right away, you may not see it in this lifetime. In the kingdom, you won't be ashamed. For the better things, you won't be ashamed.
This Romans chapter 9 and verse 12. For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek, for the Jew and the Greek, for the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him. All right, and that Greek, just to clarify that Greek, all right, is the Gentile foreigners, all right, still of the nation of Israel.
I think right now the easiest way to symbolize that is think of the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He was born in Greece, but his roots go back to Nigeria. His mother and father are Nigerian, and those are Israelites.
God. All right. Continuing on to verse 13. For whosoever shall call up, for whosoever call upon the name of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, shall be saved. All right. So if you believe in this truth, all right, with all truth and sincerity, and you are looking to change your ways, all right, and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, and call upon the true name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right?
Accepting it, forgetting all the bullshit that we didn't learn, since we were young,
since the boom,
being manipulated and confused.
God.
And giving into this wholeheartedly,
God, submitting yourself.
That's how you get out of this thing.
You have to submit yourself and forget all the stuff that you think you know.
Yeah, we're gonna fuck up from time to time. We still gonna have that. We're gonna be fighting the flesh. daily, you know.
Go on.
But I got a quick precept.
Go on.
Proverbs 16:6. You know, but how do you combat that? You know, now how do you combat temptation, wickedness? You know, in your face. You know, you gotta surround yourself with the right people. God, so this is Book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 6. It says, "By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged, and by the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him." You know, so you know what does purge mean? You know, think of the movie Purge. They was taking everybody out. You know, they had that day that they could do what they wanted. You know, and kill anybody. You know, that's the Most High killing off the iniquity, killing off that temptation. You know, but how do we pursue that? Is by you know, fearing the Lord. You know, so keeping the destruction and the marvelous terrors that the Lord can do. You know, the power of the Lord being able to strike you down instantly. You know, that's how we prevent, you know, going into you know, going into wickedness.
God. So we can stay on that straight and narrow path. All right.
Keep you in check. You don't want to get you know, you get chastised until you stop listening. You know, if you're still listening, like right now we're gold being tried in the fire. You know, the elect is. You know, we're going through hell on this side, so we could get everything right and be those judges Abaratza in the kingdom. You know, but you don't want to wait for that ultimate judgment. You know, which is gonna be that lake of fire. But it could be, you know, that car crash right around the corner.
God.
You know, it could be anything. You know, 1,000 ways to, 1,000,000 ways to die. You know, that show that used to come on TV. You know, you seen people dying and crazy would have never thought of. You know, one of the brothers showed me a few months ago. A telephone line worker was just getting fried. You know, he got electrocuted, and his body, his head, the video, it was a far angle, but you could see him just smoking, and it just looked like meat falling off the bone. You know.
Actually, I got a precept. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8 and verse 5. Thou shalt also consider in thy heart that as a man chasteneth his son, so Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, thy power chasteneth thee. All right? I'm going to just read 6. Therefore, thou shalt keep thy commandments of Yahweh, thy power, to walk in his ways and to fear him. All right? So as a son fears his father, all right, you're supposed to have that same reverence for the Father of spirits. All right, for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
When you was a kid, you didn't want your dad to know about all the shit you was doing.
Right.
You try your best to hide it from him.
So you didn't want to get that correction. All right, but what is that saying? This the parents say it hurts me more than it hurts you.
That's true, because you know the Lord wants us to come back. You know, he doesn't want to have to do what he's doing, you know, with all these judgments, but he knows ultimately there's no other way.
God.
You know, you got we're so far gone as a nation. There ain't no other way to get us to come back.
God.
And then this was all already written. You know, this is everything that's going on right now was already set in stone from the beginning. He had the game plan already made.
And so that Yahweh, you know, Yahweh actually wanted us to turn around and has us turning around. All right, but he takes pleasure in doing it. All right, because wickedness could not be held in his sight. All right, so it pleases him to chasten it for that correction. Did he not, roughly paraphrasing scripture, said it pleased him to chasten Yahushua for his sins?
Maybe because when he comes back, he's that much of a greater man.
Khan. He was
greater
that ultimate. He was that ultimate sacrifice. He made the ultimate sacrifice not only for his sins first, but for his nation, for Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua's people, the elect that he gave to him. All right, the multitude that's going to come back through the loins of the elect. All right, so it pleased him to do it.
And he sacrificed Yahushua in his highest reincarnation.
God. He sacrificed him at his point, at the point where he is the deliverer.
He was getting everything done right. Because Yahushua didn't go off.
God.
But he went off as Solomon. He went off as Isaac.
God.
He went off as Adam.
Right. So this is a matter of fact. Let me go ahead and get this. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 13. Start at verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, 2 parts there shall be cut off and die. All right. So 2 parts of our own nation, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Central Indians, Haitians, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans, Panamanian, Argentinian to Chile. All right. Colombian to Uruguay, Mexican. All right. As you see on the sign, 2/3 of our own people will be cut off and die.
That means that your grandma not gonna make it out of here. Your cousin, your favorite friend, your bestie,
your baby.
They gonna be in that fire because they gonna be in the fire with the wicked.
God.
Because that's what they are. Because they chose not to hear this, and it's very rare that you haven't heard it by now.
God. And that excludes none. That's where you wicked ass, all you wicked ass Jakes, whether it be man, woman, or child, all of you.
Whether you see some brothers in garments speaking, and you turned your head, even you were driving by. That was you being marked because you inquired but didn't go and inquire. That was that opportunity for you. You chose not to hear. That was the sign. It comes in any form.
Hey, continuing on, but the third shall be left therein. All right, and the 1/3 of the nation of Israel consists of men, women, and children. First and foremost, consists of 144,000 elect men of Israel. All right, then you have the families of the prophets. All right, those that make it, the helps of the prophets, and the children. All right.
You gotta work. You gotta do the work to get into that elect spot. It's just not handed out.
Come on.
Even though some of us will live and be woken up at the last minute when Yahushua comes back. But that means that you did the work in a previous time, and it was your lot to wake up at the end.
God. Hey, this is continuing on, verse 9, and it reads, "And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire." All right, we'll bring the 3rd part through the fire. What part is that? All right, that 1/3. That's the elect. What fire is it talking about? It's talking about the thermonuclear fire. For the righteous shall scarcely be saved. You want to pull that actually? Slovakia. Yeah. It's got that oil on. All right, I'm going to start back at 9, Slovakia. And it reads, "And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. All right. So when you're working with these precious metals, all right. I don't know if you ever took a class in school, you know, whether it be a what is it, wood shop. You can do that in wood shop. You can do it in whatever elective class that you have. All right. Where you're able to actually bring in something and melt it down. All right. And see the refining process, or even watching a documentary on how things are made. All right. How silver and gold is refined. God. God. Yeah. Let's get into it.
This is the book of First Peter, chapter 4, verse 12 reads, "Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you."
Think it's not strange, Slakia. Think it's not strange that this thing is happening to you. All right? Because Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is trying us as that gold and silver in the fire. Oh. Yeah.
Wow, so it's not strange that you're being chastised, or you're going through these these curses are falling upon you. Because what's the best way to alleviate some of that depression that you so-called Black Native Americans and Latinos have, is to understand the curses and understanding why you got into the position that you're in. Knowledge and wisdom should be the stability of thy times. So being in the know of things, helps to understand and lets you see yourself from the outside in instead of looking at yourself in the mirror.
What is that? To know where you're going, you have to first know where you came from.
Right. You didn't come from. You didn't come from.
You didn't come from slavery.
You didn't come from America. We didn't come from from Mexico, or we didn't come from Africa.
Tom, we didn't come from that low estate. All right. Yeah, how about Shimmy Shai?
We didn't come from an ape.
God, we didn't crawl out of the sea. Right. All right. But how about Shimmy Shai brought us to this low estate for our disobedience. All right. But hey, the 1/3 was already chosen from the beginning. All right. Thus saith the Bible, was already chosen from the beginning. So being that 1/3 was already chose from the beginning, you are not in that low estate. He had already chose Israel before. There's elect within the elect. The 1/3 is the elect within the elect seed of the Most High's people.
The people of Israel are the elect out of all the multitudes of the nations.
The 18 nations.
Right. We're that chosen people. Going on to verse 13. But rejoice in as much as ye are partakers of a Mashiach's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy.
Oh, so that we suffer, we don't suffer for us, we suffer for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right?
We were a part of his crucifixion, some of y'all have more of your hands in play of it as others, but some of the Israelites didn't stand up. like they should have because they were scared. You know, they were scared of Rome at that time.
Scared what man is going to do to him.
Right. And it says that we should not fear men. Now, this is verse 14. If ye be reproached for the name of the Mashiach, happy are ye.
God, if you be reproached for the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, if you get somebody walking by laughing, scoffing at you, all right, whether somebody wants to fight you, all right, whether you be thrown in jail, whether you be put to death, all right, for the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, count it as a good thing.
We're to carry that cross. You know, his burdens are ours.
God, I actually got that. I got one right here. Slucky. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, and verse 24. No man, so let me start at 23. But if thine eyes be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkened, how great is the darkness? All right, and how great is the darkness of the 2/3? All right, but here's the point in 24. No man can serve two masters. All right, for either he will hate the one and love the other. All right, so either you're going to cling on to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, all right, and you're going to love and obey, all right, and humble yourself, or you're not. You're going to be a part of that 2/3.
To body about this destruction to come. You're going to look to
Camilla, whatever her name is.
The new VP to bail you out.
God.
She can't even bail herself out of hot water. You know, you see how she handled and backtracked damn near everything that she say that gets brought to light. That is, that offends people. Speaking about the deportation processes, you know, you see how quick she backtracks on that. You know, because somebody wrote that shit up for her. You know, so damn, you gotta fix what you said. I know this is how everybody feels in the back room. You know, I know this is how everybody really thinks. Oh, is that a plane? It's a bird. Come, boo. You want me to jump back in First Peter?
We're good.
This is First Peter chapter 4 and verse 14. If ye be reproached for the name of a Mashiach, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of the Most High rested, and the powers rested upon you. On their part, he is evil spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified. And that's exactly what they do. You know, they set us up to be the villain in this thing. You know, and we're the heroes. You know, so to speak. You know, we're gonna be those Avengers. in a sense, you know, Abarath is how we be those men. You know,
we got the free. I'm gonna start at Book of Matthew, chapter 10, and verse 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. All right?
I mean, you know, I love you, Mom, but I don't love you as much as Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
God, I love you, wife. I don't love you as much as Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I love you, son, daughter. I love you, husband. I don't love you as much as Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I love him that gave me you more than you.
This is hard for a lot of women
God.
to accept because they don't want. My ex, she said, I don't want you to think of anybody else more than me. You know, and that's the mindset of a lot of women. You know, even some that are in the truth. You know, trouble. You know, fully understanding it, but you don't fully understand love itself.
Exactly. You only think you love. All right. True love is to love Yahweh Shem Yahushua before all. True love is to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments and be obedient to what he set forth. All right, because he set these things for good unto us. First and foremost, his people. And then for the other nations to follow.
You know, the gospel is good, even though it deals with destruction and correction and prophecy. You know? Continue.
I'm just going to finish that.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 39. And it reads, he that findeth his life shall lose. Slack it. He that findeth his life shall lose it. And he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. He that receiveth you receiveth me. And he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. All right. Continuing on. Listen up. Continuing on. Because Yahweh Shem Yahushua has order. And this is order. All right. He has order. And the order is Yahweh, Yahushai, men. All right. His men. The prophets, the 144,000. All right. Is out here. Abaratazah, we be those men. In order.
The prophets and the other brothers out here pushing this word, you know, they sacrificed and gave up everything in this world because we know, you know, to love not the world. You know?
God. Verse 41, he that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. All right, and what's the reward of the prophets? Salvation. Salvation is the greatest reward. All right? Yahweh Shem Yahushua will give you the desires of your heart. All right? But your heart is not important if you don't make it to salvation. The reward of a prophet, what we are striving for, Abaratazah, we be those men, is for the reward of salvation, to get beamed up in those chariots, which you so-called UFOs or UAPs. They're the chariots of Israel. All right? The Most High is sending his son, Yahushua, back on a spaceship.
Hey, I was just watching that UFO documentary, you know, that goes back to it was actually from Britain, you know, and you know, it was dating back to the 1950s, you know, and that's where, you know, a lot of chariot sightings started occurring, you know, out in Britain, and the government had everybody on there on hush mode about it, you know. You know, a lot of pilots were seeing them or having encounters, and what they would do is when they came after they reported it, they would separate them, you know, and you know, tell everybody not to say nothing of it. You know, that's still going on today.
God.
You know,
but now you're getting little bits and pieces because they can't hide. There's too many sightings.
They briefly spoke about Project Blue Book, and even then, one of the men that was on the documentary, he said that they weren't even releasing all the information,
God.
Because they're trying to keep that level of awareness for our people down, like they always have.
God. I'm gonna finish this off. This is verse 41, continuing. So like in Matthew's 10, verse 41, continuing on, and it reads, "And he that receiveth the righteous man in the name of the righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward." All right. So the reward that first and foremost, all the 144,000, the prophets, all right, is salvation, to be beamed up in those chariots.
You think of the story of Job, and everything that he went through, but what did he obtain in the end? He pleased the Most High because he didn't fall into that snare of the devil.
Gone. Yeah.
This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse start back at 15. It says, but let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matter.
God. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua said, let us not suffer as any of those things. Don't rob your brother. And who's the brother that robs us? Esau Edom is our brother.
He's the murderer and the stealer and the thief.
God.
So don't do as him. You guys are following these people, to succeed in their society.
God.
To be acclaimed and gain clout in this world,
God.
and say not to do that thing. So this verse says 16, if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify the Most High on his behalf. So no, this ain't talking about the Christians, teaching Christianity today. These Israelites were the so-called Christians back in the day. The followers of Mashiach were the so-called Christians. So if we suffer, that's a good thing. Verse 17, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High?
Who does it? For those who don't obey the gospel of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which should be the end of them. All right? If you're not obeying these laws, statutes, and commandments, Yahweh Shem Yahushua has got an end for you. And if you're of our nation, all right, you have a double end, really, in retrospect, because you will be back in the kingdom through the loins of the elect. All right. Not only after death by pain, all right, you will still have to live with that shame. All right. You'll be happy in the kingdom. All right. You'll still be giving praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, as everybody will. All right. And be happier than any other people. But when you had the opportunity to be of the elect, all right, that's going to be shameful unto you.
Verse 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
If the righteous shall scarcely be saved. All right. That means thermonuclear fire. ICBM is going to hit. It might drop right next to you. All right. If you're of the elect, you're going to scarcely be saved. As you see in these movies, when an explosion happens and you start to fly back, all right. Imagine Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, beaming you up in those chariots. Fuck it.
And then going back to Psalm 37 and 34, you know, we're going to see the destruction of Esau and the rest of the 2/3 and the heathens. You know, that's when we're going to witness that. That's when we're going to be witness unto them. You know, when we get beamed up. That's going and you know, it says that where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? You know, all that's going to get completely wiped out. You know, after the righteous are scarcely saved, everything else is gonna, all the wickedness, you know, that's going away. That's gonna be like Babylon. That's gonna be like America. You know, it's just gonna be burnt to stubble. You know, in the book of you know, the ungodly, you know, they're gonna be around, but then at the end, their generations of them, you know, it's gonna fade away. They're not gonna be nothing, and they're not even gonna be around no more. You saw? No, but wickedness itself, you know, I'm sure that the and are still gonna be sinning and doing bad shit, and that's when you know, the judges are gonna come in to bring them that judgment. But our nation is gonna have that new covenant written in their hearts, you know. Let me just wrap up with this. 19, it says, wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of Yahweh commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing, as unto a faithful creator. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai never lied to us. You know, they kept every word that he's done.
Every word that he said, he's made come to pass. You know, but you don't care, Jake, because you're a hard-headed, stiff-necked people. All right, prideful. All right. Matter of fact, let's go. You got something? Okay. How you doing?
So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and 9. It says, behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them.
Got a question? You see yourself on this sign? You see yourself on this sign? Yeah, you see yourself right here? Are you, what's your nationality? Hispanic? All right. All right. So you'd be so-called Mexican? Right? Possibly. All right. That would make you the biblical. All right. You'd be Issachar. That would be your biblical nationality. You are the children. All right. You're a child of the Most High. You're a daughter of the Most High. All right. Who the world didn't really call God or Jesus Christ.
His true name is Yahweh Yahushai. And that is Yahweh being the Father, and Yahushai is that so-called, who you guys ignorantly call Jesus Christ. He actually looks like more like that so-called black man right there. He was from the tribe of Judah, which is the real Jews. not the Jewish, but you're a part of the Israelites, the chosen people of the Most High. You know, so knowing that, you know, you have a chance to repent and come back to have a chance at salvation. When that man right there comes back on a so-called UFO or chariot, he's gonna come back, crack those clouds, and he's gonna beam us up from destruction. Because as you can see in the news, you know, war is gearing up, and what's gonna inevitably happen is that America is gonna get burnt to the ground with nuclear fire.
What is the eagle for?
The eagle, the eagle represents a multitude of things, but this is what the eagle represents: the so-called Esau Edom. So you remember, you know, a little bit about history. All right, so Rome. All right, so what was Rome's? What was their symbol? The eagle. What is America's symbol? The eagle. All right, because what is the eagle? Now, what type of bird is it?
I don't know.
It's a predatory bird, right? And it's the highest flying bird with the best sight.
That is like power, you know.
Okay.
So the eagle, all right, which this system, all right, this America is a system, right? It's nothing but a business, all right? And so everything is reincarnated. This same system of Rome is reincarnated here today. Spiritually, that's why you have right here, as you see, you have the pyramid on the back of the dollar. Well, why is that pyramid there?
That goes back to Africa,
Right.
right? Egypt.
Yeah. So it goes back to ancient Egypt. It's that same system.
Pyramids all over the world, not just in Egypt.
Well,
Right. But there's pyramids in Mexico.
built them.
People before the Egyptians.
The Israelites built them under captivity.
So when you go, what is it? Mexico, what is it? Guadalajara?
There's one under the ocean. The biggest one is under the ocean. It's a big blue pyramid. It's blue, and it's underneath in the ocean, the sea. So that means that was land before in the ocean, water. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It sunk or whatever. But there's pyramids all over the world.
Well, where's the time that the whole world was underwater?
Oh, you mean it was underwater?
Yeah. Where's the time?
They can't take it back that far.
When in the Bible, what does it say?
I don't know.
There was a great what that happened, where there was an ark built. So there was a great flood, right?
Yeah, they must have built the land.
And Noah in the ark, right?
Yes.
So that goes to prove, all right, that some things, all right, the world hasn't always been in the landmass that it is right now. What you're talking about, Pangea, right? Where all the world was together. And then it broke apart. So when it broke apart, what event happened to break that apart? It would have to be something of a mass scale, right?
Like an earthquake.
Like an earthquake. Earthquake. What comes up out of the earth? Volcano. What's also comes out of the earth?
Fire. What a volcano? I don't know.
Volcano. Water. Water comes from the bottom of the earth, right? That's why you have springs, so on and so forth.
So the volcanoes could have made the land.
Well, ultimately, the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, made the land, you know, but that's what it is. You got something?
Yeah, this is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 5. It says, "For this they willingly are ignorant of that by the word of the Most High, the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water, and in the water."
So the Most High, all right, Yahweh Shem Shai, he has land mass, all right, and it's out of the water and in the water. He'll bring it forth at its due time whenever he sees fit.
For all the world that then was being overflowed with water perished.
Okay, so then was, all right, so what was then, as you said, what is it called? Pangea, right? So Pangea was then, right? So the water, read that once again.
whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished. So,
The water raised, it came off the
right,
land and
like
into the river.
in the times of Noah, you know. So that he was what he was calling his he was telling everybody that the Most High is gonna flood the world and they need to prepare themselves. Everybody was looking at him crazy.
And repent. Repent from all the wickedness and the abomination, abominable acts.
Because that's what happened back then. Everybody was doing, the world was in a wicked state like it is now.
I think this is exactly like this. This is
You're right.
You're right.
And I got a scripture to back that up too. But let me get to this point. It says, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. So,
Or if you want to cleanse something, you can use what two agents?
soap and fire.
So soap and water, right? And then fire. So
Or sand.
he cleansed the world with water before, right?
Or you kill everybody with water.
Well, is that not a cleansing?
That's murder.
Hold on. It's murder. How is it murder?
Because you have children.
I do.
Would you kill your child?
Yeah, how about Shimmy Al Shai said so?
And then
Yes.
what if you find out later on that he's not, that he's just something else, that he's not God? What would you do?
That's not possible.
No, I'm just saying, what would you do?
I'm saying that's not even
If he asked
possible.
you to kill your child, you would kill your child.
If the Most High requested me, yes.
And you think that because he asked somebody to kill their child, they were gonna go kill their child? You think that's right?
Matter of fact, bring out Isaac.
Wait, hold on. Without the Bible here, like.
No, it's all about the Bible.
Wait.
Everything can be interpreted through the Bible. There's nothing
I don't read the
upon a
Bible.
private interpretation.
And yet I know about the Bible.
Okay, you don't read the Bible, but okay. So you don't read the Bible, but you know about the Bible. Okay, so you know about the Bible. What does the Bible say on death?
I don't know. It's supposed to be a good thing, like you're not supposed to cry over them or something like that, but you're supposed to celebrate their summer.
They're going home, so you shouldn't mourn over them, right?
No, you should be happy for them.
So you should be happy for them.
But see, I didn't get that from the Bible.
But where'd you get it from?
Who knows?
So whoever you got it from the Bible.
Are you sure?
I'm positive, absolutely positive.
That's just the way it goes. I believe, like,
Well,
I
that's
got a
because
whole different story than you guys.
you're leaning upon your own understanding. Your story is already written in here. It is.
This has already been done before.
So if it's already been done before, that's reincarnation, right?
We're heading in the same direction as it was before. This has already been done.
There's nothing new under the. Well,
I already know. Look here. What he's saying is that he's already done this. We've destroyed it. Now we're heading in the same path and we're doing it again.
so what would that be? That'd be a form of what? Reincarnation, right?
No, he recreated whatever you.
So that's reincarnation. To redo something, right?
Right. You guys are thinking that we're reincarnated.
No, we are reincarnated. We are reincarnated.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and 9. It says, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
So are you under the sun?
If your mind can think it, then it's either been created or has been created. You know what I mean? Before, like unicorns, they say that there's no unicorns, but there has been unicorns before.
Yeah, the unicorn is the internet.
We just never seen it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they're extinct. Boy! Sorry, guys. Boy!
Go ahead, continue.
So, that's the process of reincarnation, And, it's not her lot to understand, because she has a worldly sense of understanding, but
She's got demons on her.
the demon, she's under the curses right now,
God.
And she's part of that those 2/3 we're talking about. The thing is that the Most High revealed unto her enough to repent, but is she going to do that?
Wow.
That's the question. And I'm gonna grab this real quick because
and it seems like she was rejected.
So
she was getting it for a second, and then
her own thought process, that flesh took a hold of her,
God.
and that's pretty much the end of it. But when speaking to her, it reminded me of this scripture. This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15. I'm going to start at the top. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord." So we're not coming up with our own schemes like we had said before. We're not coming up with our own prophecies. These are from the words. She wanted to bring up like, oh, what if the Most High told you to kill your own son? Well, Abraham was
Abraham begot Isaac.
right.
All right.
He was put in that same situation to where he was about to kill his own son, but then the Most High, sent him another offering, which was a better sacrifice at the time.
God. And it was a symbolization, all right, and similitude for Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ.
He was that lamb. She pretty much can't get past because where she started going off was when we showed her picture of the true depiction of Yahweh Shai. Kind of
startled her spirit.
y'all talking about something else.
God.
You're not ready for that. But to get to the point I wanted to do, it says, "And cause them," this is verse 2, "and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against them." So she has heard something before that she feels is right, and because of that, incredulity means the unfaithfulness of other people, and she's a victim to that, and due to that, she's not going to change her ways, and she's going to be led into the pit because she's following a leader that's self-destructive,
Hey, but that's why Yahweh Bashim Yahushai says that their own wickedness shall correct them.
Right.
You know?
And the Most High would never tell you to do something, that would go against his own commandments,
Hey, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, and verse 19. "Thy own wickedness shall correct thee, and the backsliding shall reprove thee." She was backsliding.
Correct word of the Most
God.
And his word is perfect, So there's no correction. There's no need for correction. If you truly understand. Let me just grab a 4 right here for judgment. This is Second Esdras chapter 15, verse 4. "For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, the Lord saith, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction."
God. Hey, no, I was thinking that because I was going to call on Gal about should be outshot. That's because I was thinking that because I wanted to finish reading this, but I was thinking that through the Spirit. So let me finish this now. And it reads, once again, Jeremiah chapter 19, and I'm going to continue reading. It reads, "Now therefore, and see that it is an evil thing and bitter that thou hast forsaken Yahweh thy power, and that my fear is not in thee, saith Yahweh the power of hosts." All right?
Is in a bad place right now. Look like she's struggling, to fight the demons that she got on her back right now.
Right. And she's an abomination. All right? Not only an abomination of being heathen, doing the heathen customs, All right, but part of the LGBTQ, WP, whatever. All right,
That's the first.
God,
But she got that, you know, this is Babylon,
God.
you know. She didn't know that much. But
Well,
the entirety of it, she still don't know shit.
God. So what was being sowed, all right, was trying to be sowed in her. All right, as you've seen, she called upon, you know, another demon came for her. Another low level demon came for her to take away which was being sealed. All right, because obviously she's listened to someone before. All right.
You know, that's you know, goes back to 15 and second Esdras 15. You know, the unfaithful
Dying their own people.
dying their unfaithfulness. You know, the misleader called her to be misled. You know, that's just what it is.
Let's touch that moments right quick. Or Slocky of Revelation.
So,
Start at 13 or 14.
this is the book of Revelations.
Start breaking that and call that out for Wendy. Start gushing. God.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had by a sword and did live.
So that goes into what is that great fire? All right, thermonuclear fire. All right, and that fire that was first made was made from what? The atomic bomb. All right, Albert Einstein. All right, that was that first thing to get that. That was the first marker for this time to pass. All right, you have World War I, World War II, and now we're going into World War III. All right, that was that marker.
Verse 15. He had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Oh, you see this, the power of the image of the beast? First, the image of the beast was Caesar Borgia. All right, so-called Jesus Christ. All right, the whole depiction of blonde hair, blue eyes, or brunette and blue eyes, or whatever you want to depict him as, or even as a Jake with long wavy hair. All right, or with dreads. You know, yeah, whatever depiction that you have out there that is not pertaining to the scriptures is false. All right, it's an idol. All right, it's an image that you have set up and likeness to yourself. All right, because at the end of the day, all those heathenistic customs, all right, goes to the chief heathen, which is Esau Edom. Is he not the colonizer, all right, that has ingrained himself in many societies, taken many cultures?
There's this stupid ass movie like Jesus Christ Rock Musical or some crazy ass movie like that, and you know, everybody in that movie was a white man except for except for Judas. You know, and that's if I could remember correctly. You know, and that's kind of like how they want to portray. You know that that's how they want to portray us. How they want to portray.
As if we are the
Shah.
God. As I mean, but that's because we're in their queendom, and we're at a low estate, and we have a bunch of Judases in our nation. God, we have a bunch of Judases in our nation. All right.
Secret agents.
Right.
They got double agents. You know, talking about IUIC. You know, sending his people to infiltrate the GMS camps. You know, talking about they ain't getting down with them no more.
And multiple things that these devils continue to do. All right. The Jakes of our nation, all right, you Jakes of our nation sell out for bags. All right, to make it in the system, to think you're gonna prosper. All right. But you'll prosper on this end, you know, in your eyes. For a short while.
We got the eternity of the kingdom again. You know? Are we not selling out? You know, we staying strong in faith and trying our best to preserve the word, you know, and protect it. Because there's motherfuckers out there, you know, trying to, you know, talk down certain parts of the scriptures, you know, trying to talk down the
apostles,
the deliverer, Yahweh Shai, and you know, that learned directly from and know better. But they gotta, they're falling into those spirits, you know, the seducing spirits.
They're going back into the lot which they once were. They're still the wicked scribes and Pharisees. All right, those are the same wicked ass niggas. All right, they said during the crucifying of Yahweh Shai, let his blood be upon us and our children. All right.
Because they thought that you know, they truly believe, they truly had a disbelief in Yahweh Shai. You know, after all the miracles and that they witnessed, that were talked about, that were other people witnessed, you know, it wasn't enough for them. You know, and that's why it's gonna take, you know, him coming down on that chariot, you know, and blasting them up into bits and pieces.
War of the worlds, beating you into powder, blasting you into powder.
It's gonna take that for them to come in and into this, to really believe, you know.
But that time it'll be too late. All right. That time it'll be too late for most of you Jakes.
Right now, you know, it says seek him early, you know, not
seek me and not you.
Seek me and not you, you know, but you know, to learn, you know, to come back to these ways before the destruction, you know, before, you know, but early as a young man, so he could live a fruitful life, you know.
Oh, no. Well, I got something right now. This is Ah. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21. 21 and 5. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master and my Salakia, that was the wrong one. Salakia. It flew by. Thought I had it. Oh, gone.
This is Isaiah chapter 55, verse 6. Says, really want to start it? I don't want to take it. Verse 6 says, Seek ye the Lord while he may be found, call ye upon him while he is near.
God.
And
Oh,
there's gonna be a way where you can a time when you ain't gonna be able to find him. Usually when the Most High is dealing with you, you either in a time of you're in a trial of tribulation. He's trying to see how you gonna act. He already he's gonna give you the game, to make it out of that if you're willing to receive it. But that time of famine, rolling blackouts, you ain't gonna be able to get this word. So now is the time to get this true understanding, and to be diligently diving in these scriptures so you could get that knowledge and wisdom, so you can prepare yourself for darker times, getting that oil, trimming your lamps.
God. All right. But hey, we're in that time that America, all right, aka Babylon, aka Sodom and Gomorrah, aka Egypt, all right, is going to be destroyed. You're hearing that battle cry right now. All right, you're seeing it on the news. All right, if you watch news, especially from around the world. All right, and not just still watching CNN and Fox. Go.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
All right, and those who don't receive that thing, all right, shall be killed. It's a little dog with a big bark. Oh no! I was like, what? God! All right, go ahead. Salakia, that threw me off.
All, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a thing in their right hand or in their forehead.
All right, and that thing in the right hand or the forehead, you have that thing that's in the right hand. Check it out in Sweden, Switzerland, whatever. It's like it. Right. Right. God. God. Hey, man, there's a lot wrong. Hey, what's your so-called nationality? Huh? What's your so-called nationality? Are you Mexican? El Salvadorian? Peruvian? All right. So, you belong to the Most High?
You're a part of the Israelites. You have a tribe that goes back into your real nationality. See, these are proverbs and bywords that the so-called white man, he gave us to hide our nationality. So that's what they gearing up to put out. This CBD in what they got going on right now. You know, with
So y'all Christians.
We're technically the true Christians. I mean, because we belong to the nation of Israel. All right, because the Lord had a chosen people, and he had a people that he chose, which are the 12 tribes of Israel right here. What's your father's line? What's your father?
My father is
He's Peruvian. Okay, so you
well, I mean, I'm Peruvian. My dad and my mom Peruvian. I was just born in Argentina.
so you know,
Peruvian.
so there's a good chance you fall underneath the Natali. So that would be your true tribe that you would go back to. That's your true nationality. You know, and these go back to the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob being surnamed Israel. You know, and Israel is Yahweh. That's God's true name in Hebrew. That's his chosen people.
right. So and with his chosen people, you're part of his chosen people. So the law, statutes, and commandments that are set forth in the Bible were set for you. You know, you're the man. You're a man of Israel. You know, so salvation is for you. When this third world war happens, all right, because as you're seeing in the news, if you're watching the news or anything like that, we're in a time of war. We're gearing up for war, and so being that that's happening, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has you here for one of two reasons: either to wake up and take heed to the words that we're telling you, because America is going to die by thermonuclear fire, all right, or to be marked and you deny it and keep living your life as you're living right now.
Because there's going to be a time where this thing, is going to come into play real soon.
When I was a little ass kid, man, my mom is a Christian. She goes to church like every day. Like, my grandpa was we call him right there a pastor. You know, that's what we call him. We all Christian. I come from a Christian family, so I know about that. You know, how all this happening in mind. You know, it's crazy how we live nowadays.
I'll tell you right now, they don't have the whole truth of the Bible. See, there's secrets and mysteries of this Bible that is only revealed to a certain man, and the Christianity, teaches you that you could come back to the Lord whenever you're ready. He's always there waiting for you, pretty much,
Why would the Most High be waiting on you?
It's really the other way around, right?
If I control the whole universe and I made all, why am I gonna wait on what I made?
Because really we're expendable pieces, It's like a game of chess. Yeah, but
we're up to.
Yeah,
it's the Bible. Thus saith the Bible. And it's having the true doctrine and the understanding of the Bible. And your grandfather, your mom, and everybody have been led astray. Why? Because Christianity came from the white man. Today's Christianity came from the so-called white man to keep us in captivity. Were not your people enslaved historically? It might not have been one generation or two generations ago, but your people were enslaved. Why? Because you belong to this nation. And you can, matter of fact, prove that right quick. I know you're walking your dog and everything, but we'll go ahead and prove that for you right quick. Yeah, copy. Never trust thy enemies.
we hear it every Saturday around 4:00. Today we started a little bit later because it's been hot. So every Saturday, probably around this time, you catch us up here. That's a little bit later.
Amen. Repent.
Yeah, repent and come back. You gotta stop smoking that weed. Stop fucking on your friend's girl.
Here. God. Hey, Shalom, Mark. Shalom.
We're gonna get back in it. All right.
One task. Y'all talk to y'all meetings.
We feel that right now. We finish it. Almost comes to every day. He's pulling a pre for the Jake just passed by.
It's gonna be Book of Sirach, chapter 10 or chapter 12, verse 10. It reads, "Never trust thy enemies, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed, and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away."
Because when something is something iron gets wet, all right. No matter how much you clean it up, no matter how much you dry it off, it's still gonna rust.
You see, the side of Christianity, false doctrines, and that thing that the CHIP, that they're preparing, and the precursor of that with the thing that they got rolling out right now. It ain't for us, and it's not in our best interest. It's actually a device used for instability.
Right. And you got, once again, right hand. All right. That right hand, look at what is the Sweden? What's the Sweden or Switzerland? Yeah, with the
parties that they got going on and stuff.
Yeah, and then you got Elon Musk with his Neuralink, amongst other companies. All right, that's is not your brain behind your forehead.
These are all things that they're gonna say, benefits you. And it's doing the opposite.
God. It's for your destruction.
Right. Because even with the thing that they got rolling out right now, most likely it's going to make people sterile.
God. Gonna make you sterile, but we're gonna watch misinformation. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. God. It's basically like a what's the way to say it? I'm trying to put it where yeah.
They're making their own. They make a strand of your DNA.
Yeah, it basically cuts out a part and helps quote unquote medically. It's supposed to help you, and your body learns. Yeah, with this, I'm not a medical expert. This is not an attempt, to even be a medical expert.
But from my knowledge, it breaks off a strand of your DNA, and then it pretty much mutates it to where the DNA strand is like a double helix, so it's like an X almost, like that keep on going, and it rewrites the code.
So that it's able to learn those properties of that certain thing, whatever it may be, whether it be cancer, whether it be whatever it is, to be able to help, quote unquote.
You saw the so-called white man do that through like plasma and how to say the so-called GMO foods that they're pushing on a higher vibration right now.
I mean, they have the option to do really whatever they want, but there's it's a more direct They want you to more directly to make a decision. You know, that's why the hour of temptation, everybody will be tried.
They got, I believe it's called like PSPs. I could be, I don't know if I got the abbreviation for it right, but they put that in damn near everything. You know, clothes, food,
Right.
and that is like where a lot of the these diseases start derived from. You know, because they putting stuff in daily materials. You know, there's radiation in pretty much everything.
Cell phone has radiation.
Yeah, so that causes
Microwave.
diseases too. But yeah, they could because about nanobots and things like that. So we could be them pollution the
Chemtrails.
like chemtrails. That probably got we're probably breathing it in on a daily basis of all these different.
That goes to the witches.
Nah,
Go.
all them things play a part. And they could we don't know what we know that they're capable of doing that.
It's a matter of like, whatever they have did, they're already done. They do in secret, and shall be brought to the light. Roughly paraphrase the scripture.
Uh, 16 says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a thing in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the thing, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Oh, so doesn't matter if you are a Michael Jordan, LeBron James, or James from down the street, or Timmy from down the street, all right? Or Sally, you will have to receive that thing after it's all said and done. God.
They're gonna start amping up this thing they got going on right now again, to where it's gonna be less accessible for you to walk into the store or for you to live your life.
Won't be able to go to work.
You might have to wait in a long line and get tested every time you go into a store. Starting out, before the MOTB comes into play.
Once again, it says buy, sell, or trade. All right. When you're trading goods. All right. It is trading goods is a purchase. All right. To buy, whether you go down to your local grocery store or whether you go to your farmer's market.
You might have to have that digital pass, to take out money out of your bank account.
God. So, that is what it is right there. Oh, which way? Oh God. No, I was lucky. We're on that. Let's see.
You have to, there's a time you're gonna be putting that hour of temptation, and you gotta ask yourself, is taking this, gonna be better than your salvation? That's what's it's gonna come down to the time of that. Is it worth it? Yeah, go ahead.
Use a preset pertains to the devil shall come down, Satan shall come down with great wrath. You saw coming in with the with the marking beast and how he's speeding it up through the different avenues. What is one of the prime avenues of what he's trying to do to Jake right now?
I mean, it's everything. It's everything. Yeah, I mean, you look at everything. Is from your job to childcare to school to whatever, and every which way. That's why this thing is gradualism. You got this second thing we're about to go into. You know, they have a what is it? Climate lockdown. You know,
They've been talking about that since before Biden was in presidency. He had made a statement about it. And look how we just so happen to be getting these heat waves, random storms,
fires and so on and so forth.
hurricanes. That's all going to be an excuse for them to put that in play. The sheeple of this world going to take that as, he's trying to save us from
He wants to save the
the
planet.
destruction of the world's so-called climate. But we know they got weather machines and,
Right.
and things like that.
He wants to save the planet, yet he okays deforestation. All right, deforestation in the Amazon and abroad here in America.
He'll suck, the Earth's
The blood of the earth.
he'll suck the Earth's resources out until they're depleted. And then go fight another country for what they got.
God.
So that's the wiping the looking glass with iron with rust on it.
God.
That iron is all in front of our faces. It's just whether you gonna look at it or just try to put some WD-40 on it.
God.
And make it work. That's what a lot of y'all putting that WD-40 on it and say, hey, it still moves.
We're gonna make it work.
You might just paint it. Let's paint it and let's give it a new name. That's what they did to us.
God.
Time to go over to Edomite's house. Got to put extra hot sauce on everything. So.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, and I'm going to start at verse 22, and it reads, "A sound of battle is in the land, and of a great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken?" All right, so how's that hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? Hey, these other nations are laughing hysterically, especially Putin and Xi Jinping.
It was laughing at Biden when he was rolling down there. He was actually felt going up the stairs.
Right,
Everybody laughs when you go up when you fall walking up the stairs.
right.
But
You fell going down the stairs too. A fan tap. All right. All right. How has Babylon become a desolation amongst the nations? All right, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing Babylon become a desolation. You're starting to see all these other people that are here, these merchants really that are here making their money in Babylon, starting to flee back to their own lands.
taking credit for what it is.
Right. Hey, she was easy. She's a whore. All right. You paid your fee to get into this whore. All right. You got everything you could out of her, and now you're about to flee back to your own land. Is that not the similitude of a whore, a definition of prostitution? All right. America is a whore. All right. And she sits on many waters. Continuing on. I love this. All right. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai, from the beginning of your conception, all right, from the beginning of your entire existence, Rome and Rome 2.0, America, Babylon, Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah, all right, You had a snare laid before you. What is a snare? It is a trap. All right? It is a trap that was laid before you by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And Slakia, you weren't aware. Continuing on, thou art found and also caught because thou hast striven against Yahweh. All right? Because you consistently say, gonna make America great again. God bless America. Right? That's your slogan. He has a blessing for you, a blessing of indignation, thermonuclear fire. That will be your blessing. Continuing on. Thou art found also caused because of thy has striven against Yahweh. Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth his weapons of his indignation. All right, and what are his weapons of indignation? Satan 1, Satan 2, you know, all these other nuclear arms. All right, you created them for the Most High. He used you to create your destruction. And it's that same thing to the atomic bomb. All right, what you did to these other nations, all right, and put them in fear. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is taking you out, going to take you out that same way. What was that? Roughly paraphrasing, blacksmith and the coal and the blacksmith. I can't think of it. Can't think of it. I'm gonna continue on though while you get it. And Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of Yahweh, the power of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. All right, and the land of the Chaldeans is who? Who are the Chaldeans? Babylon. All right, so-called Esau, so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right. Continue on, verse 26, Jeremiah 50 and verse 26, and it reads, come again against her from the utmost borders, open her storehouses, cast her up and as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. All right? So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to destroy America with thermonuclear fire. All right, and nothing will be left. It will be a desert wasteland. All right, got it.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 54 and 16. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work.
Hey, what is a smith? All right, a worker of iron. All right, a worker of whatever his craft may be, a blacksmith. All right.
Creating all these, like that was brought out earlier, Albert Einstein, America, and now that instrument of destruction that he created is going to be the same thing that's used to destroy America.
God.
Continuing on, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the water, the waster, to destroy. It says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn.
God. So no weapon formed against his elect. All right. The nation of Israel, the elect, the 144,000 and the 1/3, nothing will touch them. All right. Not thermonuclear fire, not pestilence. All right. You might be tried, all right, but nothing will touch you. All right. You will be tried for your faith. All right. So there are some of us that surely, all right, Abarat is out there. We are just of the number of the 144,000 and 1/3 to see salvation. All right.
This is the book of Job, chapter 5 and 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee.
In 6 troubles. So you might have to go through being hungry. All right. You might have to go through being a pilgrim on the earth. You might have to go through losing a child. You might have to go through even being raped as a woman or a man. All right.
Verse 20, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword.
But in that 7th, in that 7th, all right, that 7th trouble, this is a wicked thing for a man to touch another man in that way, you know. Yeah, how about Shimei Al-Shah delivery in that 7th thing? Because he wouldn't want that done to any of his elect men. He'd rather put you to death. All right.
Hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh.
So we shouldn't be afraid of the destruction, though it cometh, though we see it on the horizon, though we see this civil war gearing up. All right. All these uprisings of the people, all right, and nations coming against nations. We should not fear about these things. We know that America, all right, aka Babylon, aka Sodom and Gomorrah, aka Egypt, all right, is going down. There's a sound of war. War. Watch your news. Get on YouTube. Look up the internet from news articles around the world. I got one. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and verse 1. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me and destroying wind. All right. And will send Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. All right. And who are those fanners? All right. All those fanners are the things that you're hearing, the rumors of wars, the antagonizers. All right. Those are the fanners. Those are the things continuing this. When Biden went and spoke to Putin, all right, and Putin was like, basically, hey, look, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Xi Jinping was like, look, you do what you do, but don't come and try to mess with us, or else you'll have 4.1 billion Chinese all up and through you. All right, that's a fanner. All right, that's war. That's the rumor. All right, but now you're starting to see physical accounts of war happening. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her around about. America is losing their connections. All right, put it in worldly terms, they're losing their connections and their allies. All right, everybody is getting fed up. Here it was what 15 years ago, all right, China wasn't even an inkling or a thought to be a world power. In the last 10 years, 5 to 10 years more so, all right, China and Russia are on the brink. Ultimately, we know it's not going to happen, but it's still on the brink. All right. America's cap and trade. All right. They didn't even take heed to their own rules so they could stay in power. But that's because why? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai laid that snare. All right. He laid a snare, and I'll read it again. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 23, and it reads, how's the hammer of the earth, how's the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is it Babylon became a desolation amongst the nation? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. All right. Yahweh Shem Yahushai laid that snare for you. It's always been there. It's always been a trap for you. All right. To lead you to the destruction that was already promised. Your destruction is promised because you are Esau Edom, and this is your queendom. All right. So if you go down, your system goes down. Then the body will follow. Come.
This is Book of Psalms, chapter 91, and verse 2. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in Him will I trust.
And we trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. He is our power and our refuge. All right. There is no other. Khan. Marcus Garvey couldn't save us. All right. Martin Luther King couldn't save us. Malcolm X, he couldn't save us. All right. Tupac Shakur couldn't save us. Nipsey Hussle can't save us. Couldn't save us. Michael Jackson couldn't save us. All right. There's nobody that can save us but Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So fuck what you think.
Verse 3, it says, surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will deliver us. All right. From the fowler and the noise of pestilence.
It says, He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
The truth of this scripture, the truth of this Bible, our heritage book. As we had said earlier, to know where you're going, you have to know where you came from. So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai made us aware where we came from. Through the brothers, through Apostle Tahar on down, who have woken up before us to show us. This is what you are. This is where you come from. Take pride. Be not ashamed. Be not ashamed to call the devil a devil. Let a heathen be called a heathen.
Right. It says, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by the night, nor the arrow that flieth by day.
Don't be afraid. All right. By the terror by night. Why? Because some shit is about to pop off, as you already seen shit starting to pop off. All right. And the arrow that fly by night. When you hear that sound, all right, because every nation's got that sound for oncoming attack. All right. Every nation has that sound. So when you hear it and knowing that those arrows are coming to fuck up America. And you other countries.
Pearl Harbor, you know,
God.
right before Japan was bombing Pearl Harbor, they had that siren, you know, because they knew that they was coming.
Because it is an imminent threat for destruction. or a very bad time. All right. Even though ultimately Pearl Harbor, all right, it got destroyed. All right. But it wasn't wiped off the face of the earth. They only had so much time to get ready. All right. You have to get ready. This is getting ready. Listening and understanding that the prophets from Apostle Tahar on down are the siren of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for his people. His people. Doesn't matter about you other nations. It doesn't. I'm happy to say it does not matter. It does not matter about you. All right? Not one inkling. It only matters that we come out here and give you your judgment. Thus saith the Bible. And if you don't like it, fuck off. You're going into captivity still anyway. And guess what? At the end of it all,
No, I don't know. Yeah, 7 back on.
hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to return you back to your land, you other nations. So it doesn't matter. All right. And you will rejoice when the righteous are in rule. You know, you're going to rejoice. You don't see it as that right now. All right. But Yahweh Shem Yahushua, his word will not return to him void. All right. And the blessing for you other nations is to be under the Israelites in servitude always.
Bring out, be that lead into captivity, shall go into captivity.
Yeah, you got your scripts. Go ahead, pull it up. You got it. Come on.
With Psalms 91:6, it says, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
God, the reward of the wicked that you're going to see. And the reward of the wicked is thermonuclear fire. All right? Thermonuclear fire and captivity for that first fruit of slavery. All right? Because not all of you heathens are going to die. No. The Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the Gettys, DuPonts, you know, Gates, you know, the Gates that languish there, you know, all those that escape, all right, of the other nations are going into captivity. All right. Got it?
Going into chapter 13, Revelation chapter 13, when we start at verse 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth to captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
So he who led into captivity shall go into captivity. All right. He who killeth with the sword shall die by the sword. All right. So those things, dying by the sword, who led who into captivity? I'll wait.
You go into second Ezra, man.
Esau, Edom. All right. These other nations that were confederate. Go to Psalms 83. All right. Psalms 83, chapter 83, verses 3 on down. It tells you that they were confederate against us. That's why they're going into captivity. But chiefly the Esau Edom, all right, is going to go into captivity and be done away with after their servitude of 1,000 years. You can pull it. Yeah, bring it up.
This is Psalms 83:3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
And you are the hidden ones, Jake. You so-called Negroes, all the way down to you, let me just read it. You Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, Guatemalans to Panamanians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, North American Indians, Seminole Indians, the Argentinian to Chile, Colombian to Uruguay, and Mexicans. All right? You are the hidden ones. And that is a proverb and a byword. All right? This is who you are, your biblical nationality. Go ahead.
Verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel, Yashar Allah, may be no more in remembrance.
Said, come and let them cut us off from being a nation. All right, so we will be remembered no more. All right, so you so-called Negroes and all the way down to Mexicans wouldn't be remembered as a nation. All right, so you could just be lost in utter darkness. So you could stay in servitude and captivity. All right, and it's all these other nations, all these other all the other heathen nations of the world have to go into captivity because they have to pay for their sins. All right. You got something? God. But you know, we ain't got nothing else. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and close out. But we're gonna give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to you men, women, and children who listen and learning, and to the Baal Shadabadat, the house of David. Till the next time, this is Men of Valor, Las Vegas Camp. Shalom. Well done.